This is Bruce Boudreau, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am your host, Clay Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is Tuesday night, August the 22nd, and if you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Moderators, do what you need to do to make this a safe and fun space. Members, that's legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thanks to all of you for your support, and to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from. Whether you're in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. I always appreciate you. I never take you for granted. I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here, like I said, I'm so grateful. So while you're here, make sure that you subscribe so you can get my videos every time I post them and get notified, and you get active in the chat section. Like the video. 24 of you in here already, which is nice. Let's get those likes up to at least 12. You guys know how much I love that 50% ratio, that 50% quota. So make sure you like the video. Appreciate you guys being here. You can leave a donation and get that donation train out of the station. I know it's a donation train that wants to get going. You can gift a membership, which is the same as a $5 donation, and it gets someone free membership for a month. You can also become a member. You can upgrade your membership, and you can, become a member, upgrade your membership. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. It looks like, wow, it's so cool. I'll get to this in a second, but let me get through what I'm going to do, and then I'll start acknowledging some of your generosity. So tonight, Tuesday night, got to get to my church by 12, but I start at 10:30 as opposed to 11, so I won't be as rushed. Going to go for about 45 minutes or so. And this is what I'd like to do tonight. As the question asks, Mikheyev, Beauvillier, or Boeser, or maybe someone else. Who is the ideal line mate for PETEY and KUZY? I will outline, kind of like what I did on Sunday when I talked about the potential captains. I'm going to outline arguments for and against each of these three players. Then I will do my mid-show sponsor read, and then I'll turn it over to you for your feedback. And if we have time, we'll do some Ask Me Anything. But like I said, want to wrap up on the good side of 11:30 tonight, as I have a bit of work to do before I get to my church by 12. But before we get to that, I want to recognize first and foremost a membership gift. So thank you first and foremost to the legend herself, Carol Bovenlander. Let's give her some love. Wait, we got to acknowledge two gifts. It's funny how things work. So let's give double the love to Carol Bovenlander, who gifts 2 memberships. And yes, she deserves double the hype. And the first one went to Gary M., who just before I started was asking in the chat, how do I get the membership icon beside my name? And then Fangirl correctly said, well, you got to be a member, you got to join. And then I guess before you had time to do that, Carol gifted a membership, and it goes to Gary, which is pretty amazing. And then right after that, Carol gifts another membership, and this one goes to Harry Ma. So welcome back to membership. And I think, Gary, welcome back to membership for you as well. So let's give a lot of love to Carol, which is amazing. And then let's give a warm welcome to Gary and to Harry back to franchise membership. And remember, you don't have to wait for someone to gift it to you, although that's beautiful. Sharing is caring, as they like to say. But you can also buy your own membership as well. And once you are a member, then you can gift membership to other people. And then we're just one big happy CCC family. Speaking of happy, and speaking of of what it may be. I saw a nice note from Riley. I think there's a new name here. Hi, Clay. I'm a big fan. Well, thank you, Riley. I'm a big fan of you being a big fan. So thank you for being here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk a bit, just for a few minutes, about this question of who should play with Elias Pettersson and Andrei Kuzmenko. Now, I don't think anyone is going to suggest splitting up PETEY and Kuzmenko. Thomas Drance wrote a really good article in The Athletic talking about just how good they are as a duo. And, obviously not a lot of people knew about Kuzmenko. He almost like a rookie. Well, technically he was a rookie, just not eligible for the Calder. He was able to catch some people by surprise. He's good puck handling skills, not the fastest skater ever, but good puck handling skills, decent compete level. But what was very impressive about Kuzmenko were his hands, especially on the goal mouth. So many of his goals, either on the power play or even strength, was him just lurking around the crease. It's kind of funny, like no one sees him or no one thinks to cross-check him out of the crease or from beside the net. But so many of Kuzmenko's goals were from the goal crease, and I think that speaks to his willingness to get to the dirty areas. Of course, Kuzmenko and PETEY had really strong shooting percentages, and that tends to average out over a while. But then remember, PETEY had a couple years where his shooting percentage was down. So that's, I guess, a really good indication that shooting percentages go up and down. So maybe their shooting percentage comes back a little bit, but still, I don't think anyone would say that PETEY and Kuzmenko should be split up. So let's work under the presumption that PETEY and Kuzmenko will stay together. So then it becomes a matter of who should play with them. And I'm going to outline the argument for 3 players. We could go through all 12 wingers on the roster, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense. I know you could load up JT Miller with them. That would be a fun line, but that doesn't make sense. At least I think JT Miller's going to be a second line center. So let's talk about really three potential wingers for this pairing. First one I want to talk about is Ilya Mikheyev. Now, Mikheyev played a lot of the season with PETEY and Kuzmenko. Remember, Mikheyev only played 48 games. He came with this promise of speed, of great defense, a great penalty kill. And then I think he got injured in the first period of the first preseason game. Like that's the worst. That's like rupturing your Achilles when running to first base. Who on earth would do that? Who on earth would want that? Well, Mikheyev gets hurt in his in the first period of his first preseason game. So somehow he made it through 46 games last season, and he was never 100%, and he did okay. By the way, just before I get going, Carol, always want to recognize Carol and especially her health issues. Can everybody pray for me, please? I'm having a lot of breathing problems. I might have to go back to the hospital, but that will not stop me from joining Clay on his streams. Well, Carol, I appreciate your loyalty so much. I appreciate your health much more. So I will not tell you to watch. I will not tell you not to watch. I trust that you will do what you need to do. And Carol, please take care of yourself. So Ilya Mikheyev, despite being injured, despite playing on a bum knee, played 46 games, and his production was pretty good. 13 goals, 15 assists, so 28 points in those 46 games. In my handy dandy calculator, to me, that says 0.61 points per game. So that is worthy of a second line production. So 0.61 points per game. We never saw his true full speed, his explosiveness. But yes, he had a 14% shooting percentage. Contrast that to Kuzmenko, who had a 27% shooting percentage, which like I said, is going to come down. But again, Kuzmenko doesn't take a lot of wasted shots. So Mikheyev, 14% shooting percentage, 17 minutes of ice time, 28 points in 46 games. Why do we like Mikheyev in that spot? Well, I think for a few reasons, not just because he's Russian. So I'm not saying that him and Kuzmenko are going to have instant chemistry because they're from the same nationality. Mikheyev does have a lot of speed, first and foremost, whereas Pettersson and Kuzmenko aren't the fastest skaters. They're They're skilled. They have great hands. They have great vision and hockey IQ. And PETEY's lethal when he gets time and space, and he makes his own time and space, but he's never going to burn past someone or burn around someone. And that's where Mikheyev's speed can really help this line. So first and foremost is Mikheyev's speed. Mikheyev doesn't have the best finishing. We've seen that throughout his career. Missed a lot of breakaways. Kind of reminds me of Jannik Hansen, actually. A lot of speed, but maybe not the best hands. But that's where Kuzmenko and PETEY come in. So we need Mikheyev to retrieve pucks, neutral zone, offensive zone with this speed, and then get it to the two guys with really good hands in PETEY and Kuzmenko. Mikheyev is also strong defensively. His speed has a lot to do with it. So Kuzmenko, not great defensively. Pettersson, really good defensively. Like obviously he's getting some love for Selke eventually. But let's go with Mikheyev's speed also helping them out, especially Kuzmenko on the defensive side. So there are some reasons for Mikheyev. You don't need Mikheyev to be a finisher, although PETEY is an excellent passer, right? 39 goals, 63 assists for PETEY, whereas Kuzmenko had more goals and assists, 39 goals, 35 assists. So you can see that he was on the receiving end in a lot of PETEY passes. Having said that, Mikheyev, decent hands, but not the best. So you don't necessarily need him being the sniper. You don't even need Mikheyev being the setup man. What you need Mikheyev doing is retrieving pucks, defensive zone, neutral zone, and offensive zone, and getting the puck to his skilled line mates. So there we go. That is the argument for Ilya Mikheyev. Carol's asking how many years we have Mikheyev for. 4 more years. We signed him to a 5-year contract, I believe. Yes, we have Mikheyev for 4 more years. And he is at, 3 more years. And he's at $4.75 million per season. So that's the case for Ilya Mikheyev. And of course, after the mid-show sponsor read, speaking of sponsors, I see Jason Lim in the chat. Hello, Jason. After the sponsor read, I'm going to get your input as to who you think should be their line mate. Anthony Beauvillier. So, coupled with Mikheyev getting hurt, was the trade Bo Horvat to the New York Islanders for a draft pick for Atu Ratu and for Anthony Beauvillier. Beauvillier played 33 games. So you almost add it up. It's a full season. Mikheyev played 46. Beauvillier played 33. And Beauvillier simply slid into that top line spot with Kuzmenko and with PETEY for a lot of the season. So in 33 games, Beauvillier had 9 goals, 11 assists for 20 points. 20 points in 33 games. Guess what? The exact points per game as Mikheyev had, 0.61. So from a true production standpoint, Beauvillier and Mikheyev did the exact same thing, 0.61 points per game. Now, with Beauvillier, I would argue he's got better hands than Mikheyev. Mikheyev had more goals, but he played a third more games as a Canuck. I'd say Beauvillier had some pretty good hands, and he did a decent job filling in the bumper spot when Horvat left. He scored at least a couple goals from the bumper spot from the middle on the power play. His shooting percentage was 14.3, the exact same as Mikheyev's shooting percentage of 14.3. And Beauvillier had 17 minutes of ice time compared to Mikheyev, who had, it's crazy how equal it is. 16:59 for Beauvillier, 16:55 for Mikheyev. So you can see that how Beauvillier basically took Mikheyev's spot on that top line. However, Beauvillier was a -6, whereas Mikheyev was a +3. So there's a bit of a plus-minus difference. And remember, Beauvillier was playing after the trade, so probably with a stronger team, i.e. the team was better under Tocchet than they were under Bruce Boudreau. So what's good about Beauvillier? Well, I don't think his speed is the same as Mikheyev's, so you don't have the same kind of retrieval speed. With Beauvillier, he's got a good hockey IQ. He generally puts himself in the right position, even though he takes not as fast as Mikheyev getting to that position. And I think overall, Beauvillier is a relatively safe player. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but also you don't notice him a lot. Yeah, I guess in a good way because he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but I won't say in a bad way, but also he doesn't do something that's super, super exciting, something that just kind of knocks your socks off or any other clothing you want to talk about. Don't go too far here. It's a PG show. But in general, I think Beauvillier is a safer, less sexy line mate than Ilya Mikheyev. But if you're Rick Tocchet, maybe that's what you want as well. Not as strong as Mikheyev defensively, but maybe a lower risk and maybe a lower reward player. So you can tell I'm not sold on Beauvillier as the line mate for PETEY and Kuzmenko. I'm not sure that his play is dynamic enough, but I could be convinced otherwise. So that is a thought about Anthony Beauvillier. And then one other option is Brock Boeser. Now, Brock Boeser, longtime favorite, fan favorite in Vancouver, getting paid a lot more than Beauvillier and Mikheyev. He's in the 6.6, 6.7 range. But, you don't base it on how much a player makes. But Brock Boeser has played with PETEY before, has shown chemistry with PETEY before, especially on the Lotto line from 2 seasons ago. Now, Brock Boeser's profile, last year he had 18 goals, 37 assists, so 55 points in 74 games. You divide that, and that's a little higher. That's 0.74 points per game. So whereas Mikheyev and Beauvillier were 0.61 points per game, Boeser was a full 13 percentage points higher at 0.74 points per game. A lot of people were kind of down on Boeser because of his goal total of 18. Yet he still played some really strong hockey, and he matched his points per game for his career because he had a lot of assists. Now, the thing that sticks out, minus 20 for Boeser. So Boeser, who played a lot with JT Miller, those two guys were minuses. JT Miller was a -7. Boeser was a -20. So maybe that was a bit of an issue. The two of them maybe not being the best combo. So maybe you get Boeser away from Miller and see how he does on the top line, and just have him start having him having fun again, having fun on the ice. Boeser's shooting percentage was only 10.1, and then his average time on ice was a bit more than the other two guys at 17 minutes of ice time. So why would you try Boeser with PETEY and KUZY? Well, he has chemistry with Pettersson. I think that's the biggest thing. He is a sniper. He takes a little bit. I think he's the best sniper, even though he's got the lower shooting percentage of the three. He's a better sniper than Beauvillier and Mikheyev. He takes a while to get a shot off now, but he's also a good hand-eye. Like, I remember some nice deflections from him last season, some nice battles in the crease. So maybe all Boeser needs is some time with some really skilled players that can get on the puck. Maybe not so much Kuzmenko, but PETEY could be the setup man for Boeser. JT Miller's a decent passer as well, but also often has a shoot first mentality. So maybe Boeser didn't get a lot of looks, a lot of quality looks playing alongside JT Miller last season. Yeah, you look at the shots. Pettersson had 257 last year, and then Miller was right behind at 223, and no one else had more than 155 shots. So there's a big gap from PETEY and then Miller all the way down. Well, then you might be saying, oh, Clay, how can you say that Boeser's going to get more opportunity playing with PETEY than Miller when PETEY shoots more than Miller? I think PETEY also, I would, despite PETEY leading the team in shots, I would argue that he didn't shoot enough sometimes last year, and he was almost being too generous in giving, too unselfish in giving up the puck. So a lot of things I like about Boeser's game: the chemistry he's had with PETEY, and the fact that he can snipe if he's given enough time. And with PETEY and Kuzmenko drawing a lot of attention, maybe Boeser does get that time. The cons of Boeser's game: he was poor defensively last year. Although on one hand, he's made strides in his two-way game, I think those strides kind of stopped or hit a peak last year, and we saw that he really struggled with this two-way game. And Boeser's not the best passer. I always talk about that when Boeser passes like a grenade coming off a stick. So PETEY, Kuzmenko, again, not the best passer either. So I think PETEY is definitely going to have to be the driver if Boeser plays on that line. So to recap, Mikheyev, pros, fast, retrieve pucks, good defensively. Cons, not the best hands, coming off his injury. and he's not going to finish a lot. Beauvillier, pros, safe player, good hockey vision. Cons, not the fastest, and but a solid, not spectacular player. Boeser, pros, chemistry with PETEY, best pure sniper of the three. Cons, very poor defensive profile. So there we go. There are the three candidates. I would love your feedback in a second. Let me do my mid-show sponsor read first, and then I will get your feedback on these three for sure. Shout out to my primary sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Grateful for how Jason supports me, this channel, and this community. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Perform Transform, personal and training weight loss. Check them out at ptform.com. By the way, had a nice visit from Gord. Gord is a longtime subscriber, longtime viewer of these videos. Not sure if he's watching right now, but I also introduced Gord to Perform and Transform. He looks great, and Gord came over for a nice visit tonight. If you're on Twitter, you may see me post a picture. So I appreciate how thoughtful Gord is. Shout out to Gassy Jack Art, maker of that fine artwork. Thank you to Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the URL, tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks with your next Vessi purchase. Also, a mid-show reminder to you to subscribe, to like the video. We have a couple of membership gifts from Carol. Thank you. We're looking for our first true donation of the night to get the donation train out of the station, although it's revving because of Carol's gifts. Thank you, Carol. And you can also become a member yourself or upgrade your membership. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure that you rate and review this show. Now, let's go for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Who is your ideal line mate to play with Pettersson and Kuzmenko? And I'd love it if you told me why as well. So who is the ideal line mate for PETEY and KUZY? Here we go. Ricky, my choice is Mikheyev, mostly based on his great speed. I like his production before his injury. I think in today's NHL, your top line has to be able to skate. It's my choice too, Ricky. If I had to choose between the three, I go Mikheyev, Boeser, Beauvillier, but we'll see. We'll see. A lot has to do with how your other lines shake out as well. Fangirl, I'm saying Mikheyev for PETEY and Kuzmenko. If I'm being honest, I want you to be honest. Don't lie to me, Fangirl. It keeps PETEY or Kuzmenko from getting a dangerous hit in the boards from behind the net. Oh, you're saying that Mikheyev can retrieve pucks and he's the one that will get injured. That's what you're saying. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Fangirl, for that. Taylor says Mikheyev. Give me a reason why. Give me a reason why, Taylor. Harry, who do you think will make the most impact this season for the Canucks? The most impact, I think, on the score sheet, it'll be PETEY. I think on the kind of quietly making a big difference, I'm expecting big things from Filip Hronek, to be honest with you. Filip Hronek. Hey, Murray. Mikheyev, since he's back from injury. Peter says, Bo is cool, but he's a boring option next to PETEY and Kuzmenko. Boeser, if he remembers they had a good shot, it would be ideal. But I'm going Mikheyev. His speed would be more beneficial. Great breakdown there. Angelo says, Russian line. Podkolzin, Kuzmenko, Mikheyev. And then put the Lotto line back. So imagine a line of PETEY, Miller, and Boeser. And then Podkolzin, Kuzmenko, Mikheyev. Yeah, but who's the center on that line, Angelo? Do you convert Podkolzin? Bo with Kuz and PETEY because I would love Mikheyev's speed with Miller and Boeser. Actually, that's fair. That's fair, Dominic. That's a good point. Zal says Mikheyev. Everyone on that line brings something unique to that line. I agree. Carol says, I think PETEY will be with Mikheyev and Boeser. So we got to vote for. Oh, so no even Kuzmenko with PETEY. Mikheyev and Boeser. Yeah, Carol, I don't think they split. I don't think they split PETEY and Kuzmenko up. When do I think Kravtsov will return to the Canucks? Dare I say never. I'm not sure if he's going to come back and play in the NHL. Yes, the Canucks hold his rights, but I didn't see a lot from him for sure. And Angelo says, with the Russians, put Mikheyev as the center. Yeah, I don't know if he's played a lot of center in his career. Taylor says Mikheyev would be able to keep on pace with PETEY and KUZY, and he can also help get in some pucks, also go behind and poke check opponents and manage to get the puck to either of them. Okay, so a big vote for Mikheyev's good speed, and that is fine. I agree with that a lot. Good analysis, Taylor. Will they invite anyone to a PTO at preseason? I don't think so, Murray. I think they have enough competition, especially in the forward ranks. I don't see a PTO coming, but that's just a guess from me. Hello, Brian. Since there's been talk as to Rome's hit since there's been talk as to if Rome's hit was a suspension. Well, I think there's one Twitter clip about it. Oh, since there's been talk, this is a follow-up to your answer. Since there's been talk, gotcha. So you're talking about big hits, dirty hits. Could Goldobin and PETEY been good, or was that a one-season wonder? Yeah, I don't think Goldobin honestly had the hockey smart to keep up with PETEY. That's kind of my guess. I would do Mikheyev, PETEY, and Pods. This line will be strong for sure. Does Pods have the end? No, he's got the engine for sure. He works his butt off. Yeah, and there were a couple of times I think they played PETEY with Parkosen and Hoglander last year near the start of the year just to see what he could do with the two youngsters. Can I ask Alvin about whether or not PETEY is going to leave us like that girl in high school? Okay, I'm not sure which girl you're talking about, but I'm going to ask. Hey, Patrick, Peter wants to know, using his nightly question, if PETEY is going to leave us like that girl in high school. And Patrick, I don't know if Peter's talking about a girl that left him or a girl that left you. Patrick said no woman has ever left him. So he said it must be talking about you, Peter. And he says, no, PETEY will not leave like that. All I need to say is Mikheyev with KUZY and PETEY. Carol says, my thoughts are that PETEY and Mikheyev are better because they know each other and we strung a line together. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. You might be thinking about Kuzmenko, or you might be saying Mikheyev, but I think PETEY and Kuzmenko had stronger chemistry, but Mikheyev could build that with PETEY for sure. Who's left on the free agent market? Not a lot. Not a lot with Dumba and Suter being signed. I have to look at that actually. Any chance for Hoglander? Not on the top line, but I think Hoglander will get a chance to make the roster. Who do I think will be a breakout player? Let's go with... I talked about Hronek having an impact, but a breakout player... Maybe Hoglander, Podkolzin, because when you think breakout, you think younger, right? So maybe one of those two. Hit the like button. I agree with Adam. I hope Klimovich makes a surprise in training camp. Yeah, he's still young, for sure. Yes, saw Rosero post a pic of the new scoreboard in the works at Rogers Arena on Facebook. Screens look absolutely massive. I believe one of Rosero's friends was at the Sam Smith concert tonight. And so he took a picture of the scoreboard. And yeah, it's crazy. It's flat and it's like the whole thing is a screen. Well, of course it is, but it's not rounded or angled. It's just flat. So I wonder if it's going to be 4 straight panels, flat panels. But yes, it looks absolutely massive. I agree. I'm going with Mikheyev with PETEY and Kuzmenko, as I can see them skating fast and passing and scoring. Yeah, Mikheyev's speed would help a lot for sure. Do I think Rome's hit in the 21 finals was suspension worthy? I saw some discussion on Twitter about it, but I think it was a dangerous hit. Horton didn't have the puck. Yeah, this is going in the Wayback Machine for sure. At the time, it was easy to scream that it was not suspension ready, but given the way the game is called now, yes. Given the way the game was called back then, still 50-50. Well, Peter, you can share that opinion. No, your questions are fine. Would I pair Ian Cole in the first line with Hughes or the second line? Right now, I have it as Hughes, Cole, Susi, Hronek. But Patrick Johnson on Sekeres and Price today said it could be Hughes, Juleson, Susi, Hronek, Cole, Myers. Interesting. No, you cannot have my black skate jersey, Jaskrin. Great question. Martin, the back. Well, it's going to be Martin or Seelovs. I think it's whoever is. I think the position's up for grabs. That's what I was trying to say. It took me like 4 attempts to say it. I think they have not made up their mind and they're going to let someone win it outright in training camp. Any chance you think Wu will be claimed on waivers if he doesn't make the opening day roster? I don't think so. If he hasn't shown much for the Canucks, I don't think another team would take a spot with him. $23 likes, 50ish viewers, perverts. like button, love. Yes, there are now 62 people in here and only 24 likes. So we should be able to bump that up to 30. Hey, Debut Hunter, miss you. Chiming in to say, hope everyone's doing well. We are, and we hope that you are doing well as well. I was just going to talk about Sakaris and Price video about Hughes and Juleson. Yes, Patrick Johnson seems to think that Noah Juleson is the best partner for Quinn Hughes. I'm not convinced. Yeah, kind of disappointing Jack Rathbone. I thought he would do more at the NHL level. Hey, Tyler. Ho, ho, ho. Hot take hockey. If he's in his hometown of Toronto, it is 2 a.m. John, nice to see you. Long time no see. Hope you had a great summer. And yeah, hot take from the hot take master himself, Podkolzin. Yeah, someone else said that as well. That would be a sure way to get Podkolzin some minutes and some points and to see what he can do. Taylor, no, we can't see the new scoreboard yet. It was posted, but I think I can show you on here because someone put it on Facebook and Facebook is public. So let me see if I can pull it up for you right now and show you this picture. So here we go. Here is from Rosario sharing it from someone else, the picture of the new scoreboard. Look at that. Thing's massive. So this is what I was saying. There's the banners up at Rogers Arena. It goes, look how long it is. Like, it's tough to see from the angle if it's a square or if it's longer down the sides and shorter on the ends, which makes sense. But you can see, like, if that's what it's going to look like, obviously they're going to cover this up with either curtaining or whatever. There might be a big, you know how they have the big KPMG bottom lid cover as a major sponsor point. But yeah, look how big that thing is. That is massive. And if that's what it's going to look like, wow. So that is courtesy of Rosario. Not sure if Rosario's in the chat tonight, but yeah, that's what he posted on Facebook. Pretty crazy. No problem, Brian. Never apologize. You family first. Take care of your dad, and hopefully he gets better. I say Seelovs needs another year in Abbotsford. Maybe Martin in NHL or PTO surprise. Yeah, we'll see. You can also keep Seelovs in Abbotsford and then bring them up for homestands and stuff like that when it doesn't interfere. Get him some work with Ian Clark for sure. I think Boeser is a great line mate for PETEY. What y'all think? Well, Tyler, I know you just got here. I just talked about it for the first 20 minutes of the show. I see some pros to his game, a good sniper. I see some cons, not the best defensively. J Kid, I'm doing well. Hope you are doing well as well. In terms of Miller and Boeser, who's the ideal line mate to those two? Great question. So I think it's got to be Beauvillier or Garland. Because if you put Di Giuseppe up there, I don't think you have Beauvillier and Garland with Suter. I think you put someone like Beauvillier or Garland up on the second line, and then whoever's not there is with Suter and a guy like Di Giuseppe or Höglander. Boeser's skating could be an issue. He's been slow in recent years, but his extra training this summer might improve his foot speed. Great point, Rome. Yeah, hopefully he's improved his foot speed for sure. Thoughts on Quinn being ranked the 10th best defenseman? Yes. PETEY was ranked the 10th best center. Hughes was ranked the 10th best defenseman. I'm going to do a vlog about this later this week. My first reaction is, oh man, that's too low. But because I've always talked about, you kind of overvalue your own players. I think Hughes will be top 6, top 5 in a year or two. But you look at the guys ahead of him, it's pretty hard to argue with some of the choices ahead of him. Maybe he's 8th or 9th, but I don't think he's top 5 just yet. So I was okay with it. Hey, Clay, if you have any one player from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2Ks or more in their prime for 1 year to make the team, pick one. Okay, I'm taking 90s Bure. I'm taking 80s. Oh, man, I loved a guy named Patrick Sundstrom. I don't know if you guys remember it. Do I have to fill up like a roster of like goalies and make it all equal? 70s, I can't even remember who was good back then. Let's go with Orland Kurtenbach. 2000s, I'll take Naslin. 2010s, I'll take the Sedins, and 2020s, I'll take Hughes. I think I don't even. Oh, I didn't have a goalie in there, so that's my first ones for sure. Tyler likes the screen. 80 says Pods or Hoglander with Miller and Boeser. Yeah, that could happen. A good chance for them to play up. Awesome new scoreboard, but where are the new seats? Yeah, I saw them. They're on the picture on the right. There's only one section still. Oh gosh, I like it. That's fine. That's wider than my ex. That's does anyone know when the Canucks will be having training camp in Victoria? I'll get the exact date, Shannon, for you, but I'm pretty sure it's the third week of September. Yeah, there we go. September 21. Miller and Beauvillier for PETEY. Yeah, but then you have Suter playing second line center. Yes, Chad. Nice to see you. Thanks for the tweet, by the way. I love that Vesey gave you some love too. That scoreboard is indeed very massive. Take care, Brian. Kuzmenko, PETEY, and Beauvillier. Yeah, that's one option for sure. Either Boeser or Mikheyev. Yes, no problem. Go back and watch it, Tyler. You'll like it. Could you see Myers getting more trade-wise at the beginning of the season or at the trade deadline? He'll get more at the trade deadline for sure. It's a matter if the Canucks want to wait that long because you trade him now and you get that cap relief. Close the door, Jake. Oh, about Boeser's injury, yes. Top 10 has nothing to sneeze at. I agree with you, Rome. Vancouver Canucks ownership and management met with American entrepreneur media. That was Taylor. Isn't that from the parody account though? That Scoop News though. I'm pretty sure that was from the what do you call it? The fake account. 10th best. I'll take it. Yes, it was not a fake Twitter account, but a fake news account. Naslin Sedins would be pretty sick. Has Podkolzin developed as quickly as you predicted or slower? Rome, he's developed a tiny bit slower than I expected, but I certainly haven't given up on him for sure. Ethan Bear signing with Arizona. The Coyotes Twitter account hinted at. How do you hint at it, Ricky? How did they hint at it? Let me know. I'm very interested in that. Scooter Braun hung out with Beebs. That's true. Over and under on Myers making at least 5 smart plays. Oh, he'll give you over that. He's a decent player. No problem, Taylor. I am here to inform. Okay, friends, we're going to wrap up the Canucks tickets, but not the tickets, not tonight, soon. We're going to wrap up the Canucks talk, but I will do a quick 5 minutes of Ask Me Anything. So let's go. Ask me anything that's not Canucks or hockey related, but we'll just go for 5 minutes only after I answer this. Did I see the video of the vids of Quinn Hughes going home thing the Canucks are doing? I have not watched them yet, Fangirl, but I will for sure. I did see that they're going to do it all week for him. All right, 5 minutes of Ask Me Anything. No Canucks or hockey related questions unless it's a really good one that I really want to answer. What do we got, you guys? As I get this eyelash out of my right eye. Oh, does a bear belong in the desert? Interesting, Ricky. It's kind of weird that they would just do it like that, unless it's signed, sealed, and delivered, and no one's leaked it. Interesting. Next concert or musical you're going to? Great question. I think it will be as part of my Broadway Across Canada series, and it's in September, and it's the show about it's called Ain't Too Proud to Beg. And it's about the Temptations. So that's the next show. I think it's about the Temptations. I should know these things. Hold on. Ain't Too Proud to Beg musical. Yes, the Temptations. So that's I'll be going to see that in September. How did you grow your relationship with God? Wow, Daniel, great question. I think God has always loved me. He's always been there for me, but I never really understood it or experienced it and appreciate it fully until I met Gail, my wife now, my girlfriend at the time. Well, no, when I met her, she wasn't my girlfriend, and she's the one who introduced me to Jesus Christ and church. And it's a daily journey. We'll put it that way. But prayer, going to church, surrounding myself with good people. Jason, if you could have a giant billboard everyone could see, what would you say in 5 words or less? A giant billboard that everyone could see. Love one another, maybe, or treat each other well. Yep, something like that, I think, with a thumbs up, of course. Who has the second best Twitter account in the NHL? Yeah, I like Vegas's. I know it annoys some people, but I still like kind of, they don't annoy me. I kind of like Vegas's. Barbie or Oppenheimer, did not see either. But if I had to choose one, I'd pick Oppenheimer for sure. Shannon saw Chad's news clip, which is pretty cool. I have seen Come From Away, and I did enjoy it. No problem, Daniel. I take it from your name that you, maybe not necessarily a believer, but someone who's got a good outlook in life. A Bear in the Desert would need an epic air conditioning. Yes, I'd like to see what a bear in the desert could do. Harry uses his membership message for 10 months. Member for 10 members for 10 months. I almost said he's been a month for 10 members. He's been a member for 10 months. Will you be bringing back the wheel for giveaways? Yes. I was talking to my friends about this on my golf trip. The wheel is a classic CCC thing. We will be continuing to use the wheel for giveaways, and we will milk it as much as we can. Oh, Ricky, interesting that you asked this. Have I been to Tokyo? My brother went and said it was something I have to do. Only thing I worry about is 16-hour time change. Well, you got to adjust. I've been once in 1989 as part of a high school exchange trip, and I'm likely going next summer as part of my 50th birthday celebrations. Our family has to go to the Philippines. My wife's got to take care of some business there, and we might build in a Japan trip at the start of that. So it's going to be hopefully an epic summer for me, and hopefully I'm not limping around. People in the shoe shop area are getting mad at the police presence because of the fires, but some people still fire. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I love the wheel too. If you could change anything about sports rules, what would you change and why? Ooh, good question. Yeah, that's a very broad question. I don't know. I shudder when I see career-threatening or very serious injuries. But there's this whole mentality too of, especially in football, how you got to be tough. But I think I would look at ways to somehow make sports safer. Yeah, I really would. Great question, Shannon. Government trying to control them, but they really aren't. It's too dangerous to be in the fire zones. Yeah, that's tricky. People are on edge for sure. I have not seen The Sound of Freedom. Jasker, the answer was a respectful no. The same answer I've been given for the past 2 months. And I'll do 2 more minutes of Ask Me Anything, and then I'll wrap up. Would I end the salary cap era? No, I wouldn't. It forces general managers to be good. Because if you don't have a salary cap, then it's simply going to be the rich teams buying all the good players. So I do like the salary cap. I think we don't like it in Vancouver because it's caused us so many problems. But that's not because of the salary cap. It's because of the management and decision making that we've had. So I would not end it. I think it's a way to ensure parity of some sort, for sure. And I'll end with this. Yes, definitely got smoky here on the weekend as we got back from Victoria on the Sunday. Certainly could see and feel the smoke in the air for sure. Okay, last one for sure. Harry says, what would you like to add at Rogers Arena for food options? That's something different. I'd say sushi, but I don't know how fresh a sushi would be. Maybe a Korean fried chicken. I like Korean chicken. Maybe like an udon or ramen. I don't know how fast that would be. But those are a couple options that I would like. Or all you can drink Pepsi. Maybe that would be my favorite. Friends, thank you for the great questions. Thank you for being here tonight. Moderators, didn't seem too busy, but that is a good thing. It hasn't been too crazy in here recently, so I certainly take that. Legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovenlander, legendary Andrew Chang, thank you for your support. And thank you to Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. I want to thank Carol for generously donating 2 memberships tonight that go to Harry and go to Gary. So welcome back to membership, guys. And Carol, thank you for your generosity as well. Thank you to our sponsors, Advanced City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform Personal Training and Weight Loss. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and you review the show. A couple things. Don't forget, if you're looking to buy Canucks tickets, send an email to me at canuckclay@gmail.com. That's canuckclay@gmail.com. Don't forget, my next show this week is Thursday night at 10:30 p.m. So that is the next time I will be on here. And appreciate it if you guys join me then. And yeah, Adam, no problem. You say, I respect your faith. Glad you don't push it on your channel. Yeah, I think people know that I'm a Catholic. People know I work for the Catholic Church. People know that I live my life a certain way. And if that impacts people in a positive way, great. If my Canucks talk and fandom impacts people in a positive way, great. I do want to have an impact on people, a positive impact on people, but there are many, many different ways to do that. How's that for an ending? So on your way out, subscribe, like the video. You can leave a very late donation. We got memberships, which is good. So I think the donation train technically got out of the station tonight. So thank you, Carol. You can become a member. You can upgrade your membership, or you can gift a membership as well. And don't forget, my next show indeed is this Thursday at 10:30 p.m. So as always, thanks for being here. Always appreciate you. I never take you for granted. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Tomorrow, Sean, Jacob, Kayla, and we are all getting new eyeglasses. And after that, we'll see. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.